Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared. Today we're checking out some Utica knives. I'm not sure if I've ever had any of these on the channel. I am a little confused, but we're going to get into it. So we have three knives here, but it says USA. Utica, Cutlery, Co. USA. I'm guessing it's just because they're designed in the USA. This does not feel like a USA made knife, but I could be wrong, but I doubt I am. But I will say, it is a good looking little knife. Nice drop point blade here. You got nicely textured G10. I like the, it's got steel liners with a red G10 liner underneath the black, which is a nice little accent. Decent access to the lock bar. Nice sound. Well, let's listen to it again. Yeah, nice little chunk. Clunk. Good detent. Nice action, yeah. Nice reverse flick. Jimping right here. Nice little spot to put jimping. I appreciate that jimping right there. Because yes, you're choking back like this, like a trigger pull. I always call it the trigger pull over the flipper tab. But having that texture there means I'm not going to slip this way, you know, or probably slip up. You know, it's a little bit of both, and I like that. It is a 3-finger knife, this one. So my pinky caps off the ass end a little bit. The clip is not the best. The clip, see, it'll function good, but it is a little too much hanging over the ass end because it's in my hand significantly. Like, it is a hot spot. Like, watch this. I'm just holding it how I would normally hold it, and look at that. It's pretty bad. So I would probably choke up with it like this and just use it like this, which is the primary way I use a knife anyway, so not that big of a deal. Like the sharpening tool and plunge grind because of the finger choil, so I'm glad they did that. It is drop shutty with this bearing action. Not sure if it's ceramic or not, but it is bearings. Like I said, the flipping action, detent's solid. Yeah, the clip is the only thing, and I hate button screws. If you're going to do a deep carry clip, oh, and one screw is not even screwed in all the way. They stick up. I got a little tiny bit more to get, but I'll get it. But they're popping up. I don't like that because it's like, give me all the room. I want all the room. So negatives on this thing, you know, the clip, that's really it. The position of the clip and the screws. Other than that, it's pretty good. It's a cool little knife. Like I said, I'm a little confused about the USA part, but like, not that I don't think USA couldn't do this, but it does feel like overseas manufacturing to some degree. But there's also some knives right now that I know for a fact are made in the USA that also have that feeling too, which feeling like that is not necessarily a bad thing. There are so many overseas made knives, especially with budget knives, that we should start listening to or start paying attention to, because I talk about this all the time. They are actually doing the little details on their budget knives that the USA is not necessarily doing. The next one, ooh, nice sound. Did you guys hear that? Pa-ting. We have another button lock, a little Earl on the blade, never hurt nobody. What blade steel was this? I didn't even know what the blade steel was on the other one. I'm guessing 14C. I'm sure I'll write it on the screen, so you guys probably already seen it on the screen. This one is a button lock. Nice sound. Oh, man. That button, you really have to push it. Oh, sorry, hitting the camera. All right, so we'll talk about the action here in 1 second. We have a sheep's foot blade in this steel, one of them right over there, probably right there. We have a beautiful plunge grind. Love the way they did this plunge grind. Love the way they did the choil. Sheep's foot blade, good geometry, nice stone washed etched finish. Same texture on the G10. We got a peel ply G10 with the red liners in G10 and the steel liners in black. Then we have the same button screws under the clip. Looks like we have a little bit more room under that one. It is still on the ass end, so let's feel it. This one's definitely a lot better, but it's just because it's bigger. Like, it's hanging off the back. It's not right in the middle of my palm, so, and I can still choke up. So this one's good. Even if I come around here to the back, it's not as bad. So fairly comfortable. The button. So I don't know if this is an issue, but boy, you really have to push that button all the way in. Like right there, you feel like you're disengaged right there, but you're not. So a little bit more. Nope. A little bit more. There we go. You really, so that could be a good or negative thing to you. I just noticed I keep pushing it and thinking I'm about to close it, and then I got to push it farther. I'm sure if I got used to it, then if I moved to a different button lock, I'd be like, oh, this one's too soft. You know, you get used to what you're used to, you know. But it does flip good, decent detent, a little light. I can definitely fail it. So, but it has a detent, not a real detent, but what acts as a detent. So the reverse flick is pretty solid. You can do the button flip. Love the sound of it. Lock up. Yeah, we got some movement. We got up and down and a little side to side. Let me grab a T8. Make sure the pivot's tight because that one screw is loose, so I might as well check this one. So we got a spinning pivot, I see. So see how I pushed it? See how that worked? Okay. Ooh, a little too tight. Wait, maybe I wasn't pushing the button. Yeah, too tight. There we go. No side to side, a smidgen of up and down. It's very little. No lock stick. But a little tiny bit up and down. Not horrible. Definitely something that could go away, but possibly won't. Probably won't, but you know, the centering is a little off, but I did just adjust the pivot. So yeah, it's hard to say. I could mess with it and you could probably get it centered, but it's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It definitely feels like a budget knife though, you know. And it's just like the little details like this. Look at that. It's like detent lash. It's not actually detent lash because this doesn't have a detent, but it has that little bit of slop right there that I'm not a big fan of. So yeah, you know, negatives, you know, it's not centered. It does have a tiny bit of up and down. It did come with the same button screws, and the button you do have to push in all the way. But it's not a bad knife. I don't know the price of it. I would hope that is under $30. That's what I would say. I would hope that it'd be under 30 bucks. I don't know the price of it. Now this guy, okay, the three of the same. Three of the same. Okay. That one had, okay. This one's a little bit better. Oh yeah. This just has a completely different feeling. This one's, like I said, they must have, something might have went wrong from the factory because like it has like this, even this, yeah. There's pivot lash. So that's one thing that's adding to that. This one does not have that. But drop point blade, I'm guessing the same steel. That's steel. Inset button, well, it is inset, but it's not. Like they put the groove there, but it is up higher. But you do have to push past that point. Great detent. You can do the button flip. Great texturing on the flipper tab. Nice and comfortable in the hand. Good size knife. Good choke up spot. Beautiful jimping. They actually did a really good job with that jimping and this jimping there again. Nice pinch spot right there. T6 hardware. I'll complain about that for all of them have T6 hardware. Okay, I'm recording this after the fact. I'm not sure what part of the video I'm going to insert it in, but I want to go over some things. And sorry, yes, I'm holding my camera, no microphone. I just really want you to hear me. You don't need to see anything pretty here, but I want to talk about a couple things. One thing, the steel, D2 steel, 56 to 58 HRC. No. What are we talking about? No. No, come on. It's supposed to be we want it 60 to 61 at minimum. 60 at the bottom. Because when you tell me 56, 56 to 58, I don't think 58, I think 56. And even if it was 58, like if it was 58 to 60, I'd still be upset. Like it should be 60, 61, right? You know, at the very least, I mean 59, 61, something better, not 56, 58, that's crazy. Okay, that's crazy. That's super soft D2. And D2, when not done well, it was never meant for production knives, you know, and it's not that it's horrible on production knives. It can be done well, especially when companies get it down consistently, typically at a higher HRC, not at the lowest HRC possible. And with that, you're going to see really bad performance. I'm sorry to say, horrible performance. There's probably a reason why some of these have burrs still left on them, is because it's probably very difficult to remove the burr at 56 HRC. Next thing, USA this is supposed to be USA made with foreign domestic parts. While I do think they did a pretty good job, right, with the build and stuff like that, there's still the little details that USA companies, man, and listen, I root for the USA companies. I don't want to say things like this, but I have to call it as I see it. I can't just gloss over the obvious. Like, you know, just little details, like I said, with screws, right? Why do you know, and some of them were loose, but besides that, like, let's say they were tightened all the way. Why put button screws? Why not flat screws? How much more money does it cost to put flat screws? You know, and then, you know, some companies are not putting their clips inset. They're leaving them on top and button screws. Now, this one did inset them, so it's cool. My point is, I'm just trying to say that the USA companies that are doing budget knives, right? And I know these are foreign and domestic parts, you know, and then assembled probably here. I don't really know the specifics, but I just want to say USA companies that are having production knives made or making them, either one, doesn't matter. I don't care if you're making overseas or if you're making it here. You have to get the little details down that other companies are doing right now. Like a $25 to $30 Chinese made knife is doing. And I don't want to make it seem like they're better, because my favorite knives are made in the USA. I'm just saying that, you know, if they're able to do it at $20, right, $30, even $40, $50, we got to be able to do it, you know, period. And because you can't tell me that it takes more effort, right? Like plunge grinds, right? Plunge grinds, these guys did a good job. So good job on the plunge grinds, but a lot of companies from the US are not. They're like just skipping that part. Like, oh, who needs to sharpen their knife and do it well, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, some people might not care, but, you know, it can pose an issue. It can make your knife start recurving. There's a lot of issues from it. Anyways, I didn't want to go into that. What I wanted to go into was just the other little details, like, you know, the fit and finish issues, centering issues, blade play issues, pivot lash issues, buttons or screws popping up, T6 hardware, all these little things that could, and more importantly, the most important thing, steels, the HRC, man. What are we doing? Why are we becoming the country of soft steels? Let's not do that, guys. Let's not do that. Let's start working on, like, of course, our custom makers and some of our production companies are doing it the highest level possible. So we still are doing the best job, but we're also in some cases doing the worst job. So I want nothing more than for the US to be able to create good quality budget knives, but it's almost like, and I hate to say this, but it's almost like the knife companies themselves don't know what a good knife is anymore. We've excelled the past 10 years with knives and what we expect from them. And it's not like it's going to go back, right? It's only going to get worse or better, right? So it's a good idea from a knife company's perspective. Just like a lot of these and like I said, I don't want to prop them up over a USA company whatsoever, but guess what they do? They reach out and ask. They ask, is this good? Does this look good to you? Could it be done better? What could we do better? What do you think would make this, like things like that? Like stuff you never hear from USA manufacturers. It's like there's too much pride. And it's like, come on, guys. Like a budget knife today is the best it's ever been. Better than it's ever been, ever. Obviously it should be, right? It's the future. But I'm just saying that like our what we expect is also higher. We expect good fit and finish. We expect good actions. We expect good detents. We expect rock solid lockup. We expect our clips to work well. You know, we expect a lot of things. And it's obtainable. Like, it's not like it's like, oh, well, that's just going to cost so much more money. Will it though? Will it? Why? What would make it cost more money to put T8s instead of T6s, or flat screws instead of button screws? Good plunge grinds. You know, maybe you could argue the steel, but so what? That should be the bare minimum. Good heat treated steel. Sorry, I'm not trying to go on a rant. And listen, it's not about Utica. I want to make that clear. I think these are okay. The steel is what got me though. 56 to 58 HRC. We got to do better than that. You got to do better than that. Got to do better than that. Come on. 56 to 58, it's not acceptable. Not in 2025. That was stuff we were testing in that range 6 years ago or something like that. And just absolutely, this is the thing. This is why we know this. Absolutely, without a shred of doubt, proved that it's horrible, right? Proved that you're going to get like less edge retention than HCR. By far, when D2 should be holding up to like 154 cm, S35, that's where its potential is really high. D2 is actually a phenomenal steel when it's done well. Like, I mean, like, some people don't even know what a real D2 should feel like that's heat treated well. Now, I understand that can't be done with a mass production. I get that. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying at the very least, at least hit what the expectations are of the bare minimum, which if your steel is being done overseas, guess what? They can do it. They've been doing it. They've been doing it. You know, it's just, why are you allowing your steels to have lower expectations than other companies? I was checking these knives out, you know, before I seen the price or anything. I thought they were a $20 knife. Like, I didn't look because I want to feel it, because I don't want to know already. I want to feel it and be like, okay, what do I think this is worth based on all the other knives I get to try, test, and whatever, right? What does it feel like? Where does it feel like it lines up, right? So I was thinking $20, $30, you know, maybe. So that being said, when I seen 70, I was like, what? And then I was like, okay, well, it's USA made. Okay, well, then I seen, okay, foreign domestic parts. Okay, I get it. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. Perfect. What about the steel? Like, you know, like, to me, that steel belongs on a $20 knife, if that. So I just hope you guys understand where and why I'm doing this and coming up with this. And not, like I said, I'm not trying to beat on Utica, so to speak. It's more or less just the companies needing to, I don't know if it's do research or listen to the, you know, the people that are, I don't know, testing and reviewing. I don't know, something like figure out like where knives are today and try to match them today, not 5-10 years ago. But I will bitch about the T6 hardware that's popping up. Got to get rid of those screws, and you can see how it even goes on the inside too. So, you know, that's definitely a thing. Check the lockup. No side to side. Ooh. Maybe a hint of up and down. Very, very tiny. Let's check the lockup. Let's just do this. That one's good. That one's good. Yeah, they're all solid. I mean, I'll say that. They're solid knives. They're not failing. But maybe, man, it's so little. Like, that one will probably go away just from some flips. Button locks can do that sometimes. It does have a little weight relieving. Like I said, the choil on this one is not as good as the last one, but it's okay. It stops right there, so you do have plenty of life to sharpen off. This one does have a burr. I felt it right away, right there and right there. Not the sharpest edges, so... But I don't know how much money these knives are. This one's edge is decent. But you'd hope... Yeah, this one's a little rough, little micro chips up here. So, you know, they're a little rough. They're a little rough. Now, they're budget knives. So like I said, if they're $30 or less, maybe $40 for this one or less. But for the most part, $30 and under, I'd say they're good. But if they're talking about over 50 bucks, then, and like I said, I don't know, then I'd say it's outrageous, because you can easily get these. Like I said, you can get knives, similar build, similar everything, for 15, 20 bucks from some other companies. So, but yeah, there you guys go. Negatives for this guy, you know, I don't really have too much for this guy. It has a reversible clip, you know, aside from the T6s, the button screws underneath. You know, maybe a tiny hint up and down that's very, very subtle. I don't really have too much for this one. This one's pretty good. So there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.